To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. I've received a series of good news here in the last, well, yesterday actually. As you know by now, I've talked about this popular wood. I know the word is pronounced poplar. I get it. You don't have to tell me. I'm from Missouri. We are required in Missouri to pronounce words incorrectly. You ought to hear us say the word ruined. If you go down south, they say ya. Whereas everybody else says you all. There's no reason to correct people's grammar on YouTube. You're just not going to correct it. What it was two trees that had fallen down at a trailer park just 2 miles down the road. Yeah, I think this is going to equal about a cord of wood. Yeah, I know it doesn't burn that good. I've said that in many videos. It burns fast and hot and it's gopher wood. I get it. But I'm really glad to have it. Still got quite a bit here I need to split up. It's been pretty hot around here the last few days. So I've been just doing a couple logs with my manual log splitter. I got it covered up right now. And I did a really good job cleaning the place up. Down here, you'll see that I collected all the brush up. Right there, you'll see that that's all the brush from this tree. And I took like 4 or 5 trips to clean it up. And then the lady said, oh, over there on the other corner, we have some logs of oak that you can have too. On the last load, these big logs here you see, I also loaded up the oak. The truck was way overweight. I got that all split up, gave us about another half cord. I was really excited to have that because I didn't have to do anything for it except split it. Didn't have to clean anything. It was all laying there on a concrete pad. But she called yesterday and she says, are you going to come and get this wood? I said, ma'am, I'm confused. I've spent about 2 weeks cleaning all that up. I said, I got all the brush and both trees are cleaned up and I've drove by several times. It looks really nice from the road. She said, but I told you could have that oak also. And I said, yes, ma'am. I grabbed what I saw there. She says, we got a whole bunch more. Oh, well, I'm just stressed out. I'm like, man, I want to do a good job. So she'll pass the word on. And I said, oh, I'll come over right away and I'll get it. I really apologize. So I came over and down by the wood line, there was more of it. And I just didn't see it. Had no idea it was there. But it made another full truckload. It really weighed down the truck. I took it all in one load because I wanted to make sure that I got it all taken care of right away. I'm really excited to have this too. I mean, I don't have to work for it. Some of it doesn't even need split. This is really good. This stuff splits really well also. It's already cured, so it doesn't have to dry out. I can burn it right away. Really excited about this. And then I got some more good news. A lot of people think that once the neighbor complains about something, you and the neighbor are now enemies. So the neighbor up here complained to me when I first started tearing down our tiny house trailer here that the trailer was too close to his property line. In 2004, they changed the law that you had to be a certain distance from the property line to be able to build anything. Well, the trailer went all the way to the property line. As you can see, that's where the trailer was. Well, he came down and said that was in a violation of law and he'd rather it not be there. He wants to hang a fence. Just a bunch of different stuff, whatever. Okay, great. I mean, it's not like he came down violently mad or anything. He just wanted to stand his ground. Now, apparently him and the previous owner of this property did get into a little bit of a spat over it. And so I can see that he's still frustrated by the whole thing. That's fine. And I said, that's fine. We're not going to use the trailer that distance. We're just going to use it to here, which puts us well beneath the requirements of how close it can be to the property line. And so we built our tiny house up here. We'll build a little porch here. And it all works out. He's happy. I'm happy. So no, we're not angry. This is how neighbors should work. I find it ironic how many people think that now, we've started a conflict. There was no conflict, ever. He came down, explained to me his problem. I explained to him how I could solve it. He was happy with that. And now we're friends. I mean, that's great. Now, remember, I'm not a very social person either. So my contact with people is very limited. So he leaves me alone, I leave him alone, and it's all good. Now, later he told me that I could have his deadfall. He's got 5 acres that kind of surround my property line, actually. He has an L-shaped property, kind of just wraps around my property. Seems to me that this was probably broken up. This was probably all one piece of property at one time. But there are 3 dead oaks up here, right on the road, that you can see, I'm sure. So we have this oak and 2 others right behind it. This thing here is about 20 inches. It's massive. And then there's 2 others right here, one behind the other one. So I went up there and asked him if he wanted those trees. He said, no, take them. So I called my dad today, tried to figure out how I could get these down. I think we got a plan. I'm gonna go buy a 100-foot cable and a come along. It's not very expensive. You can get them at Harbor Freight, but I really got to be careful on how I do this. I don't want them landing in the road. Of course, I'm going to make sure that as the tree is falling, like this one here, I'm going to have Carolyn up here on the road to block traffic as it's going down. So what I'll do is I'll cut this back one first, knock it down over here into this clearing. That way, if it rolls backwards, it's huge too. It's probably 18, 20 inches in diameter. If it rolls backwards, it just fall onto this tree here. And I'll still be safe. Then I can lay this tree down on top of that tree. Of course, that one would have been completely removed. That'll make that one safe. And then I'll take this huge, massive one and lay it down. So it'll be like a domino effect. Got to do it in order. That way I'm staying off the street. I can take my time in it. Now I'm going to do this in the fall. I'm not going to do it in the summer because you can see right here on this tree, there's poison ivy growing on it. Now this tree is spotty dead. It's dying. What it is, it's called oak wilt. There's a fungus. It does spread to other trees. And so I don't want it to spread to other trees. One of 2 things can happen. One, if you have an injured tree like this one, looks like it has a broken branch. Beetles carry this fungus, they get into the branch and then it spreads to the tree and it eventually dies. Then what happens is the roots of that tree spread into the roots of another tree close by. Again, infecting it. So that's the second way you can infect a tree. Well, think about this. We got trees, I got huge oak trees sitting right by my tiny house. I'd rather them not die. I've considered getting them cut down. I might still do that. And there's no cure for oak wilt. As I was talking to this neighbor about these 3 trees, the other neighbor stopped and he said he had a dying tree right here. Again, this one is dying right now. You can see it, the leaves have just changed colors. It's just now dying. And somehow I think it's got oak wilt. Every tree that I've looked at on my property, I don't have that oak wilt on it. So I want to get these trees down before it spreads all through the area, because I mean that would just devastate our property. It would, because most of our property is oak. I told you a while back that my dopamine levels are really up because I'm so proud of myself on how things are going and being happy. I said in that video, only 14% of the population. Holy cow, look at that. What is that, a robin's egg? We got a little egg here. It must be a nest up in that tree. See, a little egg made me all excited. But I was saying in that video that only 14% of the population is happy right now. And I got a lot of people saying, no, I'm happy, no, I'm happy, no, I'm happy. And I want to be clear on what my happiness is. I think a lot of people, and I've even read this before, that a lot of people say they're happy if they're not sad or angry or depressed. Happiness to them is void of a negative feeling. And I want to be clear on this. Happiness is the opposite of a negative feeling. So what does that mean? Okay, I can be not depressed and still not be happy. Doesn't mean I'm unhappy. I'm not the negative feeling. But being happy is a whole different level of just going around. So for the last few days, it's been pretty hot. I haven't gotten a lot done. I haven't been able to go outside. And so my dopamine levels have just kind of mellowed out like they always do. Just kind of ho-hum. But there's a whole different level of happiness. When you can go out and do something, accomplish something, and you're proud of it, and you're like, yeah, that's happy. And a lot of people, in order to generate that feeling, have to use artificial substances. I haven't drank anything or used anything. Well, I've never used anything, but I haven't drank anything in years. And sure, tough times when you're stressed and down, and it's tough. I get it. It's tough. But then you start drinking, and then in order just to feel normal, not happy, normal, you require the drink. But I've noticed that if I actually go out and do something and accomplish something that I'm proud of, I am happy. That's the definition. There's no other word for happy other than happy. So if you are defining your happiness as void of a negative feeling, you're not happy. Go out and do something that you've always dreamt to do. Build something that you always wanted to build. Paint something that you've always wanted to paint. Become Picasso. I hope I can help you find your happiness, which is not void of a negative feeling. Thanks for watching.